I have an interview soon, and I'm having a really hard time finding a way to say that I'm looking for a job that gives me work-life balance without seeming negative. Current situation. The expectation for success is 11 to 12-hour days, sometimes weekends. I'm at a VP level now in finance, and I'm very motivated to continue to excel in my career, but I'm also getting married and looking to start a family. Is it possible to have both? Is it possible to express all of this in an interview and still show that I'm here to work hard? Super interesting. Okay, so first of all, it's so fucked up that like wanting work-life balance is a negative thing that you're kind of like fearful and ashamed of wanting. So I think the first thing is you should live your life. Congratulations on getting married and wanting to start a family and pursuing all the things that interest you outside of work, and also wanting to make the most of your work and your work life. So I think all of those things are awesome. The way I would ask the question in the interview is I would ask a lot about culture. I would ask how that manager or how the person in charge thinks about balancing life and work. I think it's totally okay to ask that question. I would not make it the total focus of your interview, but I think you can kind of sidewind your way into saying, hey, what's it like to work here? What, is this a stay late and work all night type of place? Or is this a get in early? Or is this a 9 to 5 type of job? I think you can ask the question just like that without giving any indication of what's best for you. You ultimately just want to find the truth about the job that you're interviewing for. I don't think that most VP finance jobs need to be 11 to 12 hour a day jobs. You probably don't make up enough money to be working 12 hours a day. I think the biggest thing is if you work hard, if you learn at work, if you're receptive to feedback, if you contribute in a really great way, you can pretty much call your own shots. So if you get all of your stuff done and a little bit more, or you get all your stuff done and your stuff is really great, why should anybody care that you leave at 5 o'clock? Why should anybody care that you work from home on Wednesdays? Why should anybody care that you want to leave at 3 p.m. to go to your kid's soccer game or whatever your thing may be? You want to go get a facial, who cares? So I think the biggest thing is don't feel bad for wanting balance. Be excited that you want to have a really full life and you want to have a really full work life. I made a lot of mistakes like this. I really, truly worked away my 20s and my 30s, and I'll never get them back. And it makes me sad. Like, I think I missed a lot, and I think I didn't develop the way I should have because I spent so much time on the hamster wheel of work. So I think it's amazing that you already know that you don't want to be on that hamster wheel, but not wanting to be on the hamster wheel doesn't mean you can't have an extraordinary career. All right, second question. I recently became a manager of a small team, 5 women in their mid-20s. I'm a woman as well. Awesome. Good for you. I know these girls do not like me. I'm about 5 years older than them, and I'm fully aware that they're checked out in meetings and talk about me behind my back. I'm not a confrontational person, and I don't know how to bring this up. How do I manage a team of people who don't like me? Ooh, this is a good question. So one is they may not like you, but they definitely don't respect you. So you've got to earn their respect. I think you need to probably have a little bit of self-talk on why don't they respect you. That you probably don't have a lot of consequence for this team of people. What I would say is be a high productive coach and manager. Set a vision for where your team is going to go. Set expectations on what your team has to deliver. You can do that in a totally non-confrontational way. You can call a team meeting, get your shit together, get organized, and be like, hey, it's Q3, or hey, it's May. This is what we're going after. This is what this team is about. This is what this team is going to achieve. And this is what my expectation is of everyone on the team. The second thing I would do is I would have a one-on-one with each of these 5 people. And I would say, hey, again, here's the vision, here's the expectation, here's what I'm most excited about for you, and here's some concerns that I have. You can do that for person A, person B, person C, D, and E. What you're going to need to do, though, is someone is not going to make the expectation, and you're going to need to fire them. So you need to get yourself together and woman up that you are going to need to fire one of these 5 people. And when you fire one of the 5 people, the other 4 will get in line. So the other thing I would do is I would make sure that you tell your boss, hey, I think my team's kind of checked out. I think my team isn't motivated. I don't think they're bought into the vision. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what my expectation is. Do those things map with what your boss's expectation and vision is? And then you need to say, if so-and-so or such and such doesn't make the cut, I'm going to want to take action. And you have to be sure that your boss or your HR person has your back on that, because you can't go set these things up and then not deliver against them. So I think the biggest thing is you want to earn people's respect. So, obviously make sure you're setting a great example. 2, make sure you're firm and clear about your expectations. And then 3, you really just need to create consequence. The last thing I would say is that if one of the 5 or 2 of the 5 or 3 of the 5 step up, you've also got to publicly reward them. So if you publicly reward great activity and behavior, and you publicly criticize or take action on bad or poor behavior, you'll have better results in your team and you'll earn more respect. You got to be fair, you got to be consistent, you got to walk the line yourself, but you can do it. What do you do when your boss asks you to name your price for a salary? Do you give them a number and the reasons why you believe that number makes sense with a full breakdown? Or do you give a number that's what you need to live and save and don't offer any explanation? Ooh, I hate this. It's intimidating to have to be like, this is how much I think I should make, because 1, you're probably selling yourself out and you give a number that's too low versus what you actually want. 2, some part of you is a little bit afraid of like, I'm going to throw some crazy number out there and they're going to fire me, being like, what are you fucking kidding me? So that's the other piece of it. What I would say is get smart and get informed about what people in your role in other companies or similar companies or the industry, get a sense of what those people are getting paid. Also have in your head a number that would make you really happy at work. You have to provide explanation. Nobody's going to be like, I want to make $100 million and then like drop the mic and walk out. So you've got to have explanation. The explanation cannot be about you. The explanation has to be about what you deliver for the company, what you create for your boss, and the overall contribution that you're making. Focus, I think, really on 2 parts of it. Here's what I have done, and here's what I'm going to do. And as a result, I would like to be paid in this range. And when you say the number, make sure that if the person hits the low end of the range, you're going to be happy. The worst thing is to throw a number out there, have somebody meet it, and then be disgruntled because you gave a number that was too low. So get smart about what the industry pays. Get informed and crisp about what you've done and what you're going to do. Write down your points. Have a succinct and clear conversation with your boss. Put a number that you feel great about and see where it goes.